and the oak comes through. So I think the chance of this being small barrel is there. We need to do more research.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Bourbon Theory. I'm Josh.
I'm Bill.
And today we're going to do a single bottle review on some Linkumpinch, which you know a lot more about this than I do. But this is a cask strength. Does it have the proof back here? Yep, 117.6, 4 years old.
This is out of Franklin, Kentucky. It is distilled and bottled by, so it's their own distillate. This was gifted to me by a family member, and thanks, Raj. And so, looking forward to. I've actually, as you can see, I have drank some of this,
just a bit,
and so looking forward to trying it again here and actually going for some tasting notes on it. So, it's got a good color for a 4-year-old. It's got a good color to it, and kudos to them for coming off with a cask strength on it. So. You got to give them credit for coming out of the gate like that.
It's a nice bottle.
It's got a good story behind it, and it's called Dueling Ground Distillery. Is what it is. That's a bit of the story. So around according to the story, in the 1820s, somewhere along a patch of grass in Linkumpinch Farm, or at Linkumpinch Farm, and near present-day Franklin, Kentucky, matters of honor were settled with the firing of pistols. A man's reputation was restored when a musket ball found its target, and the area surrounding Sanford Duncan's farm soon became known as the dueling grounds. These days, Franklin is home to far more agreeable activities like the crafting of premium single-barrel bourbon aged in charred Kentucky white oak to draw out a sweet, woody flavor all its own. So
it's definitely woody on the nose,
which for only being 4 years old.
Yeah, I mean, this is a dark.
It is
4-year-old.
And it got a little sweetness to it.
Yeah.
Got the dueling pistols on the label. It's an interesting label.
Yeah. A little old school.
Mm-hmm. As would be, since you're dueling, yeah, it probably would be.
This feels like early 1900s.
Got a corn
on there.
I get corn on the nose.
A lot of oakiness.
Again, only being 4 years old. And it is age stated. It does say 4 years old.
I wonder if they age them in smaller barrels.
Possible. Doesn't say anything about that.
Let's talk about that for a little bit. Some little bits of information for our audience. Typically, the standard in the bourbon industry is to use a 53-gallon barrel. Mm-hmm. And that stores 53 gallons. You obviously don't fill it up completely. You need some breathing room in there.
Pretty close, though.
But there are some other size gallons. Typically, there's a 30-gallon.
There's 5 gallon.
There's 5 gallon. There's 15. There's like an 18. And
25s.
And typically, the larger the barrel, the less oak impact you're going to get on the juice
because the amount of gallons.
Exactly. There's more juice to flow in and out, and you kind of get that a little bit more balanced. So if you age something in a 30-gallon,
taste while you talk.
You go. So if you age something in a 30-gallon barrel for 4 years, as opposed to aging something in a 53-gallon barrel for 4 years, you're probably going to get more oak impact on that 30-gallon barrel just because there's a less amount of liquid in that barrel. So there's more of the liquid, of the same liquid that's already been transferred into the wood and back out more consistently. So you talk about it while I taste.
So spice comes through strong.
Mm-hmm.
Very strong. And the oak comes through. Wow. So I think the chance of this being small barrel is there. We need to do more research. But
my goodness, that's oaky.
But it's also flavorful.
It's very flavorful. I'm going to put a little drop.
It's got quite a bit of flavor that comes through on it. It's got a little bit of sweetness.
Yeah. It's honestly, it's like the sweetness is the bottom coat of the tongue.
Mm-hmm.
And then everything else kind of layers on top of it.
It's a caramel vanilla.
Definitely more caramel.
With baking spices.
It's a little like coffee-ish to me.
A little bit more leather, I think.
it's very interesting. I haven't tasted anything quite like this before.
I go through Franklin quite often.
Yeah.
When we're to visit family there at Auburn.
Well, heck, next time you go up there, take me and we'll see if we can do a tour. We'll figure out how big the barrels are.
That muted the nose quite a bit. Didn't really open it much.
See, I've never drank something where I had like a layer of sweetness and then had that layer of oak
over top
and
of
then
it.
the spice on top, and then it just kind of permeates together and melds the longer it's in your mouth.
And it does last. It's got a long lasting.
Yeah.
Very interesting. I have no idea the price on this. I would say it's not inexpensive necessarily for it to be a small distillery. The other thing is, for being young, it's not real grain forward.
Not at all, really. The water helped. So there's a considerable amount of sweetness on this, and that sweetness it's on the finish, it's on the front, it's on the mid palate, particularly on the finish for me, and then that kind of gives way to the spiciness. That really tampened down the oak tannin flavor.
It did. I want just 2 drops.
Yeah, I just did. Difference. I had a lot less in my glass. I just did 1. That it's pretty good.
It is good. It's
pretty good. It's totally different from almost any other Kentucky bourbon I've ever tasted, which is making me think maybe smaller barrels.
And I mean, they say it draws out a sweet, woody flavor all its own.
It definitely does. I mean, it's oak.
I agree.
It's sweet. The spice is a little can't quite place it.
It's pepper. It's pepper in there for sure.
It's not as intense as pepper for me, because the
oak really brings it up.
That is true. It's really only coming through on the back of my mid palate and then on the finish for me, and then that spiciness kind of fades away and lets that sweet oakiness come through.
And that's the oak really that's causing it back in there. It's good. It's good. I wonder, not that I wonder too hard to where I'd want it, but I wonder at a lower proof how it would be.
Well, we can do that.
We could
do that in the future.
But this is very interesting. Very interesting. Okay, how would you rate? You're done. So
this is an interesting drinking experience. I would say this definitely meets your palate better than it does mine. But I think it's a C+ for me.
We're in there. I was going B-.
Yeah, so. I think it's pretty good. It's not something I would be like, if somebody gave me a gift of this, I'd be like, oh,
that's
why?
Nice.
But it's I don't know if it's something I would seek out and buy. Like if I saw this label in an ABC store, I don't know that I would be like, oh, that. Okay.
I know they had a bonded as well because he bought 2 bottles and your uncle got one of them. I got one of them. And since your uncle likes a lower proof, he got the bonded.
Yeah.
So, and I got this one. But this is a good bottle. It's a good bourbon.
Yeah.
So,
Linkumpinch.
I believe I have seen it in store. I'm pretty positive I've seen it in North Carolina stores.
I don't know that I have, but your stores have a better selection than mine do.
Pretty positive that I have seen it. I don't know that I've seen the cask, but it may have been the bonded that I've seen. So, but I'm pretty positive that I've seen it.
Yeah. I mean, it's
good. It's it's got a lot going for it. It's got a lot going on in the glass. So I wouldn't shy away from it.
No, definitely not.
Again, I don't know the price, but if it's in that 80 to 100 range, I would say it's a buy.
Sounds about right to me.
For the cask strength.
Yeah.
So, and for the bonded, I'd say in the 60 to 80 range, be a buy.
Yeah.
So
it's a little surprising. Never had this before. Definitely going to be on the lookout for some more of it. That's for sure. So Linkumpinch, good job.
We might make our way there on a trip to visit family.
Yeah. Sounds like fun. Well, guys, thank you so much for watching. Have you had Linkumpinch before? Do you like it? If you know where to find some, let us know.
Mm-hmm. So, well, as we say, thanks for being with us. We make our promise that our videos will get better with time, just like bourbon.
Take care of yourselves.